All right, there it is. Well, introductions. Hello again, everybody. Brandy Charging Eagle here with Sicangu Co. And with this Ask Me Anything, we have the Sicangu Health Initiative. We have Ashlyn and Franky here, and they'll be answering questions for us, sharing more about their work and what they do, any goals they have with the health initiative, and much more. So, to start things off, guys, you guys can just introduce yourselves, and what your guys' position is with Sicangu Co. and just, simple things what you do. If you want, you guys can mention other people that work with the health initiative that couldn't make it today. And yeah, I'll let you guys take the floor. You can go first, Ashlyn, and then Frankie.
Okay, so hi everybody. I am Ashlyn Plooster. I have been with Sicangu Co. for about 2 years now. I focus on youth programs. I coordinated the after school program with the immersion school, and I also help out with the home garden project. And this was my second year coordinating that. So I just kind of help out. I feel like we all, as coordinators, kind of help out where we need to within each other's programs. So yeah, I guess I'll hand it off to you, Frankie.
Madakiapi Franky Young, and I am a program coordinator for Sicangu Health Initiative. I started, I think, with food sovereignty about 2.5 years ago, and then I switched sides to Sicangu Health, and I've been with Sicangu Health for I can't remember, but I think it's been 2 years or so. And I do the wellness, the summer and winter wellness program. And what we do in the program is we help people with doing workouts or doing cooking sessions and learning different topics, like different alternatives of what we can do, how we can do a plant-based meal, or basically some recipes that I like to write up, and we can have the participants take it home and cook it with their families. So the whole focus is to try to get the participants and their families to do a different type of change within their lifestyle. And of course, we not only do that, but we also do the Tatanka harvest. And Ashlyn and I coordinate those as well within our program. And we team up with the other parts of the program within Sichangu Co. to coordinate and, TJ and Jerica help lead it, and then we try to get everything set up and going from there. Basically, having the whole community come in and learn how to harvest, how to do, the head, the hide, all of that stuff.
Nice, thank you guys. Um, Ashlyn, what brought you to this work?
That is a deep question for me, but it's a great question. I feel like, so to backtrack everything, I have a background in public health, and before that, I really struggled with finding a major and what I wanted to go to school for. I feel like a lot of majors nowadays are kind of like, in a box. And so I felt like public health was something I could relate to because I know I wanted to come home and help with the issues that not only I and my family have struggled with growing up, but just the issues that I've seen, that I felt like moving away from home and coming back and wishing we had a space for certain things to be held for, working for a health initiative that's really broad. That's why I was excited to come to Sicangu Co. Seeing that this was a nonprofit organization, the impact that we could have, and I have a good solid foundation in working with children, and so I felt like being able to connect with youth and kind of address the problems that I was talking about earlier is where my passion for this type of work comes in, and being able to not only connect with the child but connect with their family too. So being able to really get that two-generation approach or three-generation approach was really important for me to bring to the community.
Nice, thank you, Ashlyn. How about you, Frankie? What brought you to your position, or even more broadly, like what brought you to wanting to work with the health initiative?
So It's a really long story, but I'll try to shorten it down. But it all started when I think I got done with firefighting, and of course I was kind of like um obese at the time. And it all started since I was like younger and wanting to get more involved with uh basically I got told that I was going to be borderline diabetic, and with the rate I was going that it scared me because there was all these questions I wanted to ask, and it was kind of on the point where you could tell that the questions that I was asking were being really kind of too much, and it was starting to annoy the people that were telling me. And so I started doing my journey of trying to work out and trying to, find different alternatives of eating healthy. And don't get me wrong, I still eat, horrible every now and then, but I still try to add something healthy within, my lifestyle. And of course, growing up, we had the Rosewood Wellness Center, and I used to work out there every day. And I believe Mark was the one that asked me if I wanted to do a job interview. And so I did. And that's how I got into the Rosewood Wellness Center. And I practically worked there for like 8 years and really got to help the community and doing the things that I love, especially like losing weight, gaining muscle, and really being there with the community and doing hands-on stuff with them and sort of building that confidence, and also helping them with if they did have like some type of type of diabetes, at least helping them do the workouts that are good for them. And then of course, later on, COVID happened, and I wasn't really big into cooking. Like I could tell you back then, I used to go to Subway and eat once a day, like do the whole intermediate fasting, which wasn't the greatest, and it was very horrible for you. But um, COVID hit, and I created this my own style of like meal prep planning, and noticed that we needed that on the res. So started doing my own like meals, different types of like chicken and rice, fish and rice, or uh some type of like steak bowls, and going from there, getting the calories, fats, proteins, carbs, going in that direction, and then being picked up by food sovereignty and being able to pass that on. And I started to notice that I really wanted to get back into personal training and really help with the people. And so this job as a program coordinator popped up, and that was like my main, like why I wanted to get back in it, really teach and do these classes with our participants. And, sometimes we don't have a good big deal of, or we don't have a lot of confidence in ourselves. So that's why I wanted to be a part of this program and rebuild people's confidence.
Thank you, Frankie. Your story is extremely motivating. I love it, and I'm so glad for everybody to hear. And just thank you for sharing. And for whichever one you guys, whoever has a question first or something comes to mind first, my next question is, what is something recent that you and your team are most proud of? Anything that happened that, you would love for our community members and our supporters, donors, that you think that they would love to hear.
I can take that one just because I feel like it just finished up. So for the month of June, I do the home garden project. This is my second year leading that. And this year we were able to successfully put in 63 gardens across 22 communities. And this was our first time working and coinciding with the learning and development team with multiple interns. So we had about 15 interns that we would cycle out every day and contribute to these gardens that we were putting in. And we only worked because of like all the rain this year, we only worked a total of 16 days, and we were able to do 63 gardens within 60 days. So I feel like that has been a big accomplishment, and also just kind of partnering with other initiatives within the ecosystem too is a huge plus.
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah, I loved, as you know, I asked so many questions about that throughout it. I was so invested, and the people that donated to that, they were so invested as well and loved the updates. And I truly think that the outcome really exceeded all of their expectations. They were all so happy to see that, their donation was able to go to a great cause. Frankie, do you have anything? Otherwise, I can move on to the next question. Are you just excited about the home gardens as well?
Uh, yeah. Well, I mean, like, when did it get started? Like 2 years ago, or was it 3 years ago, Ash?
It was 3 years ago, and I was not here for the first year, but I picked it up the second year.
And the second year, so like, it seems like more people are starting to apply for it, and everyone's being able to go out there and provide, tilling, doing the garden stuff. And I think it's really great, and more people want to get involved with gardening. So I think it's awesome.
Yep, yep, for sure. I was just I think I visited one of my family members and they were like, "Hey, you work with Chunguko, how can I get a garden?" So everybody was into it. Everybody knew what was happening. And I'm so glad you guys were able to help so many families. And the JDC as well, right? Ashlyn, were you guys able to put a garden in at the JDC, the Juvenile Detention Center?
Yes, we put in I believe so each relative who gets a garden, it only gets like a 10 by 10, and it's small, but it's a good first starter. And so for with the JDC, we did I think a 50-foot garden, and then the year before, I know we did 4 garden beds for the local daycare, the for SGU, their daycare. So for the college's daycare, we were able to do that too. So I feel like, yeah, just being able to partner with outside programs on something as deep and connecting as a garden is really cool and important.
Yep. Yep, definitely. There's nothing else like being able to grow your own vegetables and fruits and stuff. I've done it before and it's just I love it so much. I'm glad you guys were able to do that though. Amazing. Um, Kind of taking a turn, is there anything with just work-wise that I say keeps you up at night? Like, is there anything that you just wish you can do, or like a door that you wish you could just like open, or anything like that? Like, is there whether it's like goals and ambitions that just seem so like hard to reach and so much work to do, or just anything that's kind of pressing? Like, is there anything that just keeps you up at night? Like, it's good to share positives and I don't want to say negatives, but good to share everything. We want to know.
Honestly, so when it comes to doing like the wellness classes, I think because I get anxiety a lot. So of course me, I'm just like always thinking of the next move or the next plan and like, okay, I hope this goes good. And then I usually talk about it with Ashlyn and asking her if like does this lesson plan look good, or what do you think we should do about this, and do you think I should do something different? And if I should do something different, should I mix it up? Because I'm always constantly like thinking every night, like, is this recipe good? Is this workout going to be good? Or if someone can't do this type of workout, then I have to have them adapt to a different workout. It could be something that's more amplified for other people, or modified, or I just have to constantly like making sure everyone's levels are the basically it could be different, but I'm always trying to make sure everyone's on the same rate or same level so that they can feel a little bit more what is it like to feel good basically. And so I don't want any of my participants to feel like they're being left out. So whenever one's doing something and the other one feels like they can't, I'm always like, that's what keeps me up at night. And I'm just trying to make sure everyone is involved and participating and doing what they can. So I feel like that's just a constant thing for me.
Yeah, and just to kind of go off of what Frankie said, I think meeting people where they're at is really important in the work that we do. And something that keeps me up at night, and I don't know if it's just like my public health brain, but something that keeps me up at night is remembering the collective mission that we're on as the health initiative. There's a lot of different avenues that you could be doing or we should be doing. And so those thoughts always cross my head at night. But a big avenue I'd love to tap into and to see the health initiative tap into is just mental health as a whole. So that is something that I know is in the works and is being talked about now.
Wow, I love that. I didn't know that. Yep, when you think of health, it's not always fruits and veggies and push-ups. Like mental health is extremely important, especially here on a reservation for sure. Um, is there anything that you're most looking forward to in the near future for either one of you guys? Like, is there, you don't have to spill any beans, but anything that you guys are excited about in the near future?
I can kind of just lead off of what I just said. I just had a big meeting with the acting director yesterday, and I put this conversation into the works of really targeting the middle school age. So I'm not too sure what that'll exactly look like right now, but I know that we are in the works of kind of creating some type of mental health, kind of like an maybe in like an identity connection for that middle school age, which is really important. I know learning and development program with inside the ecosystem. They do really good with the high school age and up, but and then the after school program, like I have been doing, obviously hits the K through 3, but I'm really passionate about hitting that middle school age. So hopefully that is something that we can talk about later down the road.
Yeah, if there's anything you can share about your thoughts on mental health, one of the viewers, John, just asked that he's interested in learning any more thoughts on mental health and how we do it. I assume he's thinking about like how we would want to integrate that in the program that we already have going on. So yeah, it's nice to know that's in the works. If there's anything else you would want to share on it.
Yeah, I think just like I kind of touched on is really focusing on the identity part when children hit that age. I feel like kids are kind of growing up younger and younger, and I feel like being able to help um, a relative going through that stage in their life to remind them of their identity and have them think openly about who they are and who they want to be and hitting them at the right age versus when they get to high school and college. I feel like that is where I have a big passion and where I would like to see a program like that go.
Yeah, I love that. I have my degree is in mental health, so it's lovely to hear that that's something that we're trying to hit that nail on the head. How about you, Frankie? Is there anything on your side of the health initiative that if there's, any changes happening this year, any goals, anything that you're excited about coming up?
Honestly, I think what I'm really excited about is so it seems like every year we with the wellness classes, the winter and summer wellness classes, they've been small at first, but now they're starting to get bigger and bigger. And it's just giving me more motivation and energy to put in like different types of kind of like indigenous cooking with our classes and involving more of our indigenous plants and different types of game or getting people used to like using tatanka meat and kind of using like wild rice and doing all of that, adding that in and having them be able to, take that home and do that with their families, but also kind of involving more of like we do on the side we teach how to set up teepees and also I want them to like Ashlyn said find that identity within themselves of getting more involved with their culture and being able to ask those questions freely instead of feeling like getting chewed out in the end and how to ask and how to do it in a good way.
We have another question for you as well, Frankie, in the chat. How can someone enroll in the house coaching program? And can you talk more about the food voucher aspect of the program?
Okay, so we do a Google form and we set it up on Facebook. And I think this last summer class we did it, I believe, in May, I think, and it goes up from May. We ended up taking it down on June 12th. But once we do it on the Google form, you can fill out like how many people do you have in your family and what type of what type of veggies or what type of like foods do you eat? And also, when you do the class, I'll bring up the food vouchers that when you sign up, we usually go with the form. And depending on how many people that you have under your family, we usually set it. If you have more than four people, then we give you a voucher every time you do the class. And it is $120 voucher that you can spend over at Turtle Creek or the farmers market. You would be able to spend those vouchers on fresh veggies, fruits, dried beans, or lentils, or langoons. And what else is there? Over at the farmers market, you could go to the FSI booth and you could spend it on the veggies that they grow and also buy fresh farm eggs as well.
Oh, nice. Yeah, we all had another question too from somebody else that how does the process of a new community member wanting to participate in the work that you do? So is that basically the same thing? Just look out for that Google form on Facebook?
Yes, yep. You can look for it on Facebook, or we do have flyers set up and that we put around the res. We usually set them up over at the gas stations or post offices, and we have a QR code that you can um, go on your phone and take a picture of it, and then you can sign up through there as well. And I believe that a new community member, we're trying to get it set up to the point where we're trying to provide childcare services as well. And we just started it this year for our summer class, and we'll be either set up at the Rosebud Community Building, and we are in the process of talking to another entity to use their building to do childcare as well.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah, that's super important. That's something I always think about because I don't know if you've seen my little guy around me all the time, my little 2-year-old, that's like my little tail. Yeah, he's with me all the time. So anything like that, people like me are interested, but sometimes it's hard because childcare is really a hard thing to find here on the reservation. So that's amazing. I'm glad you guys offer that. I think I remember seeing it on one of the flyers. I think it was the one at DPP. Um, so another question, what work, if any, do you guys do with the immersion school with Wakaja Kitokyachi?
We do, so that's where I do my after school program. So we will go over to the immersion school and we do this. We try to do it once or twice a week. We offer it all throughout school time, September to usually May. But what I, oh my gosh, sorry, that was really loud. Did you guys hear that in the background? No? Okay. Sorry. Good. Yeah, so what I really like to focus on at the after school program and what has helped me after just kind of being there and seeing it for the first year last year, I kind of took over the program this year and what I try to focus on is something tangible for them to take home to their family. So whether that's a healthy recipe with stuff they can get locally, instead of kind of like foreign, maybe healthy ingredients that we don't have being in a food desert. I really try to correlate the family over just the couple hours we get with the child, but I feel like that's where I believe Franky's winter classes tie in with the families there too, right, Franky?
Yes, yep. And they get to be a part of what we do in the summer is what we do in the winter. We do things differently. We partner up with the Rosewood Wellness Center in the summertime, and then we use our building in the wintertime.
Okay, nice. That kind of answers one of the other questions we had too. Someone asked if there's only certain times of the year that they can participate in health coaching.
Yeah, so the summer is really open to everyone and you can sign up, but depending on so like when you go to the wellness center, they have a age limit, so 14 and over can join. So we try to abide by their rules, and so it's only 14 and over. And for us, if they're 18 and under, we try to have the parent come in with them as well so that they can participate into the class. And then the winter, that is for the the after school program that Ashlyn does with the kids, their families can come and then their family members, so like their relatives can also join with that winter class.
Oh, okay. Yeah, makes sense. And again, answered another question of somebody asked, what ages do you all work with? And that's like fully health initiative. It wasn't very specific. So health coaching or anything else. It's just what ages do you guys work with?
Okay, so yeah, the emergent school right now is K through 3, and so we're primarily focused on K through 3. The materials I have are for K through 3. I know it is in the works of opening it up to another site, so we would like to like have the after school program be kind of like on wheels, and so we can kind of travel from school to school, but with that requires, you know, more staff for the larger schools. So right now we're kind of focusing on the immersion schools and the smaller schools within the community. And like I said, I really want to try and hit that middle school age. That's kind of where I feel like we do have they can come to Franky's classes, but I mean there's not something made for them. So we do work with all ages. The summer youth programs that I do in the summer, I did a wellness camp. I did 2 separate days for middle school and high school age, and then versus elementary age. So um, there's different ways we try and incorporate all ages, but primarily I feel like we're with K through 3, and then Frankie's classes kind of go all over, but even that 18 on up is kind of where we focus those wellness classes.
And so with the winter class, they if we do have kids that do come in with the family, then I try to get the kids involved, and it could go with the cooking or even the workouts as well. I usually try to have them hop in and do what they can, and then we teach about like knife safety and washing your hands before you start to prep the food, and just teaching them a little bit of how to cut it, and then watching them go on their own, and then the parents will stand around, or some of the parents will hop in, or they'll stand around and have their kid help out. So it's a really awesome thing to see that with the winter class. And then for summer, like I said, it's 14 and over. And so basically I try to get everyone to get involved, if it's from cutting or setting up some or delegating some type of role that they can do. Like someone will focus on cutting the veggies, the other person will focus on cutting the meats, and then we'll do that for 20-25 minutes, and then we'll get started on the workout part, and then we'll go into the other side. And also I want to bring up, we do have contracts that we have under us. One of them is Dobie Jones or Daryl Jones, and he's pretty good at helping us with doing the cooking in the kitchen site. So then he'll help get everything ready, and then I could be able to take everyone to the next on the other side of the building and work out with them.
Okay, nice. And another question we talked about a little bit with the school, but is there any other Shichunguko like entities or anybody else within the organization that SHI works with? I know you said you mentioned learning and development with their interns and the immersion school, a little bit of FSI. Like, how do we all work together with you throughout the ecosystem?
So we partner with a lot of entities or programs within the ecosystem. One of them is Wolakota. When we want to do a Tatanka harvest, TJ and Jerica are always down and ready to get going, as long as Ashlyn and I can coordinate and get contracts and people to help us with the Tatanka harvest. And then also marketing is a big part too. When we need something to get out, like say the Google form for the classes or something for the school or the garden project, marketing is always there to or do a flyer, and then do the Google form, or what else is there? I can't think of anything else, Ash.
I definitely I know Frankie messaged or he said FSI, and that's the food sovereignty, and we do partner with them. And like I said, I do the home garden project, and this year we actually introduced soil health, and we introduced worms and compost bins this year. And that was something new for me to learn. And I would like to, and the plan is for next year for the garden project to partner with FSI because, you know, they're the ones primarily working out at the garden at the Kiawapala Garden. They have a lot of knowledge in soil health and worms. And so I would love to partner with them to explain that knowledge to the community, whether that's a class that we hold or something like that. I would love to work together even more on that home garden project.
Nice, nice. And another question, kind of getting into my work, which is really fun. And someone asked, what would a donation on the larger side mean for SHI?
I think not to keep repeating myself, but that mental health program, that program which would require probably outside of myself to run these programs, staff to be able to confidently run that, or to have the after school program reach outside schools. I think a large donation would be able to help us with that because right now, like with the after school program, you know, you can only have certain amount of adults per children. And so we would have to, I would struggle. That was a struggle with the after school program, is to find the solid help outside of school staff that wanted to stay the extra couple of hours. So that is one struggle that we had. And I feel like if there was a little bit more funding there, we would be able to expand the after school program and then also open up that mental health program, like I said, for that to be up and running.
How about anything from your side of work, Frankie?
Basically, same thing like what Ashlyn said is to being able to hire more people to help with, the childcare services, and also being able to hire another trainer and maybe even getting someone to our basically. I know we already have a gym, Rosewood Wellness, and then we have a small one in Redco. But it'd be cool to kind of get our some type of small building set up to the point where we have like a kitchen and the workout area and an area for kids just to be able to come in and do the classes that we need, and it'll be right on, around Redco or somewhere close that we could do it. So that would be great.
Wow, that would be great. That'd be amazing. That'd probably help attract a lot more community members as well, wanting to do it, or they can't get in at DPP or DPP is too full, things like that. That would be great. So my last question before we wrap things up, unless anybody from the chat has other questions that you guys want to, chat in the chat before we wrap things up. My last question is simply, is there anything else that you'd like to share at this time that would be important for all of our supporters and the people that'll be rewatching this to know about SHI? I know we covered so much, so it's okay if you say no. But just anything that we didn't already cover, um, any goals, anything's coming up.
One thing that I noticed within our program of what we do, we're pretty hands-on and we're always ready to team up with other programs and do 100% and also create new, what is it, relations with everyone and being able to get our name out there. And one of them is, like currently we try to do teepees, and we want to set up a thing for either next year with everyone's Wiwangwa teepees that are going on to be able to provide them set up a teepee over there for them to use at least, and being able to teach others how to set up teepees. Because I mean, I think with our seventh gen intern, we taught him how to set up a teepee, and it was like it's been like a year for me and my coworkers to do it. So it took us a little while, but it was awesome to get that refresher course and being able to teach them how we were taught. And there's plenty of different ways of how you set it up too. So it's cool to have someone else come in and teach that and then learn that way too. So
Yeah, I think one last thing I wanted to really say, and I know this might be obvious too, but I feel like the health initiative and programs like ours are really driven by what people need. And so I feel like an important part of doing work like this is being out in the community and getting those, whatever that looks like, assessments, interviews, questions, really getting that from the community. So we do take pride in meeting people where they're at and knowing what they need and building that comfortable relationship in order to create that safe space to know what they need. So, yeah, I feel like that's all I got on my end of things. Franky.
Yeah, me too. I feel like we covered a lot. I feel like
Right.
we
Yep.
covered.
That's what these Ask Me Anythings are for. Dig into SHI, all the people that rewatch this and stuff on our YouTube channel, if we share it on Facebook. So it's exactly the questions that they asked and the things that they would want to know. So, well, I assume you guys are both always open for any other questions. If any other late questions come into my email, I'm sure you guys are more than happy to answer them and I can relay the answer. I can shoot you guys a Teams chat or email.
Yes, definitely.
Okay. All right. Yep. I thought so. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for being here. This was just amazing. I always love learning so much more about SHI. So yeah, thank you guys. Thank the people that participated, people that hopped in, everybody that'll be watching this again on YouTube. Thank you for your questions. And yeah, I think that's a wrap.
Thanks,
So thanks
everybody.
everybody.
Cool. Thank you guys.
Doksha.
Yeah,
Take care.
Daksha.